You want to know the sickest, most grand story of all time? Well, here it is. It is about Grey Area Gaming, and what happened was pretty awesome and deep. Well, when I was 19 years old, after the army, I was already involved in playing on one of the USA's poker sites. It had its market plans for Europe, so they invited the Europeans in. At that time, I joined, I was 17, they didn't ask for documents even. Later they apologized, sorry, we now ask for the document and they let me in. But it was their fault that they let me in when I was 17 or something. But the Grey Area Gaming was such that it turned out that the CEO, the leader of the Full Tilt Poker, was involved in a fraud. So they shut down the whole site. It was a big thing. Like before, there wasn't this like European players couldn't play against US players, but they made it possible. But then they got involved in a fraud, and the whole two continents poker site was shut down. Had legal consequences. All of them were shut down, even those who didn't do it, because the government became very, very strict. And what happened? Well, I continued playing. How did I continue playing in the Grey Area Gaming? There is a thing. The government, they shut down each and every poker site that didn't have license, and they didn't want to get these licenses, these poker sites. So many of them didn't. So the government checks it like this. So there's this domain name server. If that, for example, 888.com, if it has that name on the address bar, you can't go to that site. They simply check that site. That there's one problem with it. If you change your domain name server to Google's, for example, like 8.8.8.8, 8.8.4.4, 8.8.8.8.8.8.8.4.4, Google DNS, so you will pass this government check. So now you are in the illegal poker site. Why I'm in the Grey Area poker site? Players can play there. Actually, by law, the site is not allowed to operate at that country, but players can play according to the international law. So why I'm in there? Because now there's no strong players there. There's only this casino EU very weak players who come from the casino part and spend money and the poker tables without even knowing it's poker. They don't know it's sports even. Because what 888 did was they put this casino part and sports poker part very invisible together. So in other casinos they're like separate, but they have like this, it's the one thing, get it all. This type of campaign. So I was just sitting there at the poker tables at pretty high stakes for my standards. And I won hundreds and thousands of dollars just by sitting there and waiting for these people coming from the casino part. They didn't know it's sports part. So they just lost money thinking it's casino. And I was just there taking their money with poker strategy. I had trained myself up using UC's cracked US poker school and stuff like that. So I could still exploit that flaw in the league. Like, if you bypass the government's block, you could participate in the Grey Area Gaming and make a lot of money there. And that's like a grand thing. You can do now anything. Like nobody, you're an unstoppable player and completely invisible. Like the Estonian leagues or government, they can't even see you. You play using this hacker trick on the foreign poker site. They don't see where you are, they don't see what you're doing. I even got myself this foreign bank, this money bookers or Skrill nowadays. So you put money there, your government can't actually check it so easily, right? What you're doing, like. So it's legal. Even it's like gray area. Like they could stop that, but it's not your fault probably. Then even that you did it, you don't pay taxes even. So this is what I did for like 2 years or more. And I had a lot of money. I traveled in Europe. I went to India, and I come back and I started thinking like this epic story of Grey Area Gaming. It is closing down. They no longer allow it. The coaches don't recommend to go there anymore. It might shut down any minute. You could lose your money. So it's no longer recommended at all. But so I don't do that. But now they have built the new leagues, like these legal leagues, and that's crazy. Like, if you participate in a legal league, it has a lot of impact on the area somehow. So it's like a popularizing the sports or something. So now this strong player from the Grey Area Gaming comes to the legal league, and wow, he has like so much impact because he was invisible before. He has trained himself so strong in the Grey Area Invisible League, and now he comes to the legal, open, visible, popular league, and he's crushing everything. Like, nobody understands what he's moving so fast and winning everything and crushing everything. And for example, like when Michael Jordan came back from retirement, there's something like is happening, but it's happening fast and invisible. So this gamer is suddenly taking over the government system, right? So the government wants it for some reason. So it's popularizing the sport. But so why does the sportsman suddenly have so much power? It's the Grey Area leagues where he was training invisibly. So yeah, they are shutting those down finally. I think if you really, really want, you can find your way to there. But the other thing is, if something is easy money, it's probably easy money not for long. There are also other regulars finding out, and they're trying to also take that star share in that easy league. So I'm playing in the legal league only now, and the government popularized leagues, online poker. So I'm no longer dealing with this shady Grey Area, but I find it to be one of the most epic, grand adventures and most amazing stories that was possible thanks to this US market opening up to Europe. They are really, really popularizing gaming here for some reason, and people don't know anything about the video game industry or the high stakes online poker leagues or something. So they are popularizing it, and people still don't yet know it at all. Like, if you say I'm from video game industry, they're like, what is it? So it's all in English, it's all in US, it's US based, but yeah, we're doing our best to get this epic story going still. And yeah, now I'm only in the legal leagues, no longer Grey Area winning. And I had a lot of impact suddenly. I didn't know that I could have impact in the local area. So the leagues are now more local, you have more impact there, but it has so much impact that it's influencing like everybody. This is what government is interested in, popularizing sports. That's crazy. Don't do that.